Okay, I got this SS14 Sears Suburban, and when I originally started making the film and video and all, I just wanted to get the thing running. Well, then once I got it running, I realized that there wasn't no off on the key. It wouldn't shut the engine off. So I think I got a little piece of video clip I can show you. There's a ground wire off the ignition switch that was broken, and this magneto one comes up here. This is how they have it done right now, but it comes up here, and what it does, it grounds the magneto and stops the spark. So if I repair the end on this wire and reground it, that would probably work, because with the ohms meter going from here to here, I do have continuity, and I fixed that, and that made the key switch work. But when I was playing with that, I realized that the key switch, when I turned it to on, the terminal, the A terminal, didn't have continuity to the battery terminal. Now what I did is turn the key on, and from this battery terminal to this wire here, the orange one coming off the switch, should have continuity with the key in the run position. So you can also, this is the same wire here on the side of the amp meter, so you could take and put the key on the on position and test continuity from here to here to the battery terminal, so it wasn't powering up to the regulator and stuff like that. So what I ended up doing was, instead of trying to clean the switch and all, I just replaced the switch. And then after I replaced the switch, I got it running, and it is a generator, so I got it up to a little over half throttle or better. And I didn't have, with putting a voltmeter across the battery, I did not show charging. The little amp meter didn't show charging either. So I started wondering what it could be: regulator, starter, generator, maybe a bad wire. We had one broken already to the switch. So the voltage regulator is down in here. I could get to the field wire, the green one on this side. I clipped a wire on there, little alligator clip ones that, and I tried to hit the ground negative terminal with that wire while watching a voltmeter that was across the battery, and I had no change or nothing at all. So I know the terminals and the wires looked really bad. I didn't know if I had a bad generator or if I had a bad connection, because when you touch that ground to field out, it's kind of like making the voltage regulator, you're bypassing it. So after my first attempt didn't get me nowhere, I decided to take this starter generator out and clean up all the wire connections, and then I put an ohms meter on the wires and tested them and wiggled them around. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see back in there, but all those wire connections are all rusty and crowded around that voltage regulator and stuff. Okay, now on the ohms meter here, I just got it set to beep. And like, these are dirty, so it's only certain places you can get a reading. I like to do that and get them and move them around and all, just to make sure that there's nothing wrong. Also visually inspect. But all these wires I see looks like they're not in as bad a shape as I thought. So I think we're just going to clean all these up and reuse them. Okay, I got this battery positive, negative. I got a negative on here. This is the field terminal. We're going to energize this one. It's rolling. Get up to speed. Hit this one. Hear that braking? Well, listen how it tries to die when I hit the other one. So that's telling me, I think, that this is a good generator starter. So I pulled the voltage regulator out of there because I was going to clean the contact points and stuff. And I got looking here. See this? That's supposed to be a ground wire that comes down here to where you bolt it on. So at this point I decided, well, let's either do a new regulator, or I had another one that I didn't know if was good or not. So I put the one on that I didn't know was good or not. Cleaned up all the wire connections and put it back on. I still am not charging, so I just wanted to double check and make sure the generator part was good. So I again hooked my wire to the field terminal. The green one on this side of the regulator. At least it is on this tractor, the 14. You want to verify that was the field. And I touched it to the ground watching the voltmeter. And I started getting a charge. So that tells me the regulator is bad. Okay, so I got the new ignition switch in there. I got this hooked up to the battery. We can see where we're starting at. 12.5 volts. Now I'm going to start this up and I'll rev it up and see if we get any charge there or on the amp gauge. If we don't get any charge, I got the green wire on the regulator here. I just got this wire hooked to it. And if I don't get no charge, then I'm going to take and short this to ground a couple times and watch and see if I go up any. Because you'll be able to hear me whenever we... I'm not charging down there. This is negative here. See how that jumps? That's telling me right there that it'll build charge. Now see, when I shut it off, it didn't go down. So what that's telling me there, what I've done is I took the field wire and just grounded it to the ground for a second. You don't want to do that for long because you'll burn up that generator. But it did just start jumping up there and charging really well. That's the test I was trying to do the other day when I was doing this earlier in the video. But all the connections were so dirty I wasn't getting enough contact, I think. So that proves that our generator works and all, and that proves, because I know all the wiring's good, that's pretty much telling me that that regulator's bad. So we're going to order a regulator. I hear this pulley making noise, so we're going to order a different pulley. I have another video on that one. But that's it for now. We know right now that the regulator's bad. So as far as the wire connections, they may have still been okay connections inside, but they weren't good enough on the outside for me to hook to and test. So that's why I chose to clean those up. The voltage regulator was bad, and by grounding the field out, we could see that the starter generator would charge. And there again, this is pretty easy. The red one that goes to the amp meter goes to the A terminal on the switch. M, magneto, follows it up here to the magneto. And the other one's a ground, goes to a chassis ground somewhere. Now the other two, you got a hot wire. One goes up here to the battery, and the other one of course goes down the starter generator. We hook them two up, slide the switch in, and see what happens.